Episode 47 of the 100% Rotten podcast. The first thing I want to touch on is Copmala. Is this the last straw for her base, whoever that is? I know we had a lot of bootlicks and coons covering for her and Joe before Joe and Copmala even get into the White House. And if you ask me, that's still up in the air. But that's a story for another day, right? Joe is digging a deep ass hole for Copmala. It's not bothering Joe because a lot of people believe he's on the white supremacy tip, which he's actually showing. You know, he don't give a damn about black folks, none of them whatsoever. He don't give a damn about the stand-in black folk / Copmala, the stunt nigga. He don't give a fuck about her either. Joe is that friend that you go out with that always starts shit with people, that gets into some shit with people, and you end up being the one that's got to fight for them. You know what I mean? And it looked like it ain't no more fighting left. Jason Black did a great podcast the other day, basically smearing the shit in all the supporters of Copmala and Joe Biden's face. He did a podcast just rubbing it in, saying, "I told you so." And he's right, because it's very quiet with the trolls and the supporters who were supporting these two Democrats. So it ain't looking good for Copmala. So she was wearing the Timbos. She was talking about she used to listen to Tupac and Snoop back when she was in college. They wasn't even out when her old ass was in college. What else did she do? She's trying to do a lot of niggatry. The whole Democrats ran a get your booty to the poll thing. And so what else? What else does she got left to pander to black folks? It's looking real fucked up. She gonna have to end up just busting it wide open to try to get a little support. So fuck her and fuck Joe. You ask me, they ain't getting in there. But anyway, and no, I'm not a Trump supporter. Another thing, Choke No Joke. He did an interview on the Godcast with Lord Jamar Rodiga. And basically, he has, I guess, an informant that used to work with DJ Vlad that said that DJ Vlad gives his unedited interviews to the authorities, allegedly. Are you surprised? I think Vlad looks at all black people the same, even though he tries to treat people differently, like he tried to act like Lord Jamar was his friend. At the end of the day, he don't give a fuck about none of them. Yeah, he's got a black wife. She's probably just a stunt Negro too, just a stand-in black. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who's fucking with Vlad, they on some other shit. Sometimes we are all guilty of kicking it with people who have a bad reputation. And you're like, well, shit, they ain't did nothing that bad and they're not fucking over me. But the day when they do fuck over you, that's when it all comes to the light. You know what I mean? That's when the light bulb goes off over your head. You're like, damn, why was I even fucking with this person? So some people just have to, maybe they're out of the loop, maybe they don't know. Or maybe they're just looking at it like, okay, I'm going here for business. He's not my friend. Who knows? But I ain't fucking with Vlad. He's on some bullshit. He's been on some bullshit for a long time. And I wouldn't be surprised if he drops dimes on Negroes for years to come. And people want to keep going to him. I mean, something is going to have to come out so in your face. That's what's going to make black people stop fucking with him. But anyway, the last thing I want to touch on is Raphael Warnock. Man. Now, I first heard about Raphael Warnock through our brother, Dr. Randy Short. Please subscribe to his channel, by the way. I want to read an article from the New York Post. Counselors tossed urine on a 12-year-old boy and forced him to sleep outside at the summer camp run by Reverend Raphael Warnock. Damn. The former camper, now an adult, alleged in an interview. Speaking to the Washington Free Beacon Monday, 30-year-old Anthony Washington discussed his summer 2002 experience at camp farther south in Carroll County, and that's in Maryland. This is a statement from Mr. Washington. It was dark. Nothing was there. Nothing was outside besides a nearby basketball court. You're not in a tent. You're not nothing. You're just out. God knows where. Counselors also threw urine on him that was left in a bucket used when they didn't have access to a bathroom. This is all alleged, right? But if you go look online, there's a lot of stories from pretty credible sources. And, New York Post, even though, they own some bullshit sometimes, they are pretty credible as far as media goes, I guess. So you could look up plenty of stories. This is just one of them. And, yes, people can be accused of things, right? But usually where there's smoke, there's fire. Georgia Democrat Senate candidate Reverend Raphael Warnock is coming under fire for serious incidents at a summer camp he ran in Maryland, including his own arrest for impeding a child abuse investigation. Warnock, a pastor at Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist Church since 2005, previously worked for 5 years as a pastor at a Baltimore church whose camp was plagued with abuse. In 2002, Warnock and a colleague were arrested for interfering with a police investigation of abuse claims. Warnock then was 33. He was taken away in handcuffs after he interrupted a police interview with a camp counselor about possible abuse and blocked a camper from directing officers to other witnesses, according to the resurfaced Baltimore Sun article. About a year later, camp farthest out in rural Carroll County was shut down by the Maryland Department of Health, which refused to issue a certificate to operate due to a poor health inspection that found 11 violations, and the fact that the camp failed to report 5 findings of child abuse. After an investigation by the Department of Social Services into camp director Brian Carter. Man, that's fucked up. Health violations reportedly included inadequate lifeguard coverage at the camp's pool, lack of CPR certifications, insufficient camper health information, not doing background checks on staff, and lack of approval for plumbing or electrical systems. There's one more part I wanted to read. This is a statement from Warnock, according to the New York Post. It's just unfortunate that our children had to see their pastors carried away in handcuffs, Warnock said. My concern simply had to do with the presence of counsel. He didn't give a shit about the children because he didn't say, I'm concerned about these allegations and I want the police to go through with the investigation. He said, no, I'm worried about the alleged pedos being hauled off by the police. He didn't say anything about the kids, so that's letting you know he don't give a damn. But anyway, in Georgia, he's running for a seat which is now held by Kelly Loeffler. Don't know much about Kelly Loeffler, but I know for sure that Warnock is fucked up. Warnock is running for a seat in Georgia. I hope y'all don't vote for that motherfucker. He's fucked up. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Fuck all the coons. Shout out to Tariq Nasheed. Shout out to D. Tubman. Shout out to Dewan B. Shout out to Craig Fax. Shout out to Dr. Randy Short. I get a lot of info from him. And I used to love brother Dick Gregory. And he used to kick it with Randy Short. He got a lot of information from that brother. So he knows what he's talking about. Please go to Dr. Short's channel and listen to him. He gets it in unfiltered. Peace.